This week, I'm going to lead you through a full-length class. We're going to focus on strengthening the feet, strengthening the legs, and our balance. Let's get started. For this week's practice, some kind of a bolster or maybe one block would be a really helpful prop towards the end of the practice as we enjoy a relaxing supported bridge at the end of the practice. But other than that, you don't need any props. And then we're going to start our practice today standing up. So find some space where you have room to open your arms sideways, up and down, and maybe some space in front of you, behind you as well. So a little bit extra space around the mat so we can move slightly off the mat as well. And then we're going to find a Tadasana pose, our first mountain pose. And this mountain is going to be our anchor for the practice. This is going to be our base. We're going to come back to this pose many times during the practice. And now in the beginning, we're going to take a moment to just feel our feet and test our weight on 2 feet in this mountain before we get into any further movements. And just take a moment to find your mountain and your feet in your mountain pose. Do you have your feet together? That's one option. Or maybe you have your feet a bit wider apart. Maybe there's some space between the feet, or maybe you like a slightly wider stand. Maybe your feet are kind of pelvic width apart. Just find where you feel steady. And then rock the weight a few times from one foot to the other, from left to right, right to left. Arms, shoulders can just be relaxed. And then rock the weight a few times from heels to toes. So rocking the weight from the front of the foot to the back of the foot. And then you could try a few circles. So you're circling the weight from front to back, from right to left. And just notice how you're engaging your feet, your toes, how you're engaging your legs as you move the weight from one part to the other. You can reverse the direction of those circles. And then see if you can bring the weight back to center. What feels like center to you now? And just take a few breaths there, observing where you might feel engaged in the feet, in your legs, maybe higher up in your core, along the spine. And notice where you might let go of tension, where you don't need to engage, where you don't need to tense your body, just to stand up in this mountain pose. Notice how you're breathing. Where can you feel your breath in the standing pose? Because that might be very different to when you're lying down or when you're seated. Take a couple more breaths here, in and out. And then from the center, try to move all or most of the weight onto your right foot. Still keeping the soles of the feet, both soles of the feet on the mat, but really kind of moving the weight onto your right foot. See how that changes, where you might need to engage. Is there maybe more engagement in your torso now? And then from right foot, slowly move the weight onto your left foot. And again, just notice how that might change the engagement, whether it's in your foot, in the legs, higher up in your core. Does it change the way you breathe? Does this foot feel different to the right foot? And then again, bring weight back to center. Can you find even weight on both feet? And then you can stay where you are. If you have some space behind you, I'm going to turn kind of diagonally, slightly sideways so you can see better what we do as we get on with our practice. So now from that mountain pose, we'll start to bring some movement to our upper body. So you can keep yourself grounded. And now as you inhale, press your feet down and lengthen arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down, keeping the weight in the center. Same again, as you inhale, lengthen your arms up, feet grounding down. Then as you exhale, bring your arms down, but this time also round your upper spine, your neck, your upper back slightly as you bring your arms down. And again, as you inhale, lengthen arms up, feet pressing down. Now as you exhale, again, arms come down, round your upper spine. Also bend your knees. Notice where you have your weight on your feet as you bend the knees. And we'll do the same thing again. Inhaling, extending the legs as you reach arms and back up. And exhale, arms come down, rounding the upper spine, bending the knees. Head can come down. Inhale, lifting up, extending the legs. And one more time, arms come down, rounding the upper spine, bending the knees. Now as you inhale, shift the weight onto your right foot, lifting the back and arms up, and slowly lift your left knee in front of you. So bringing all the weight onto your right foot, and we're going to stay here a few breaths. So finding our first balance. You could flex your left ankle, flex your left foot. See if that changes the activation you find in that left leg. Trying to bring hips to same level. Keep breathing. And then slowly, mindfully, as you exhale, bring that left foot down. Bring arms down, round your upper spine, bend your knees. And we do same to the other side. As you inhale, lift yourself up. Bring all the weight onto your left foot. Lift the right knee in front of you. Again, finding your balance on the left leg. And this might feel different. Again, you can flex the ankle and foot in that right leg, right foot. See if you can find, again, hips about to same level. You might lift the right hip up, then drop it down, finding that center. Still breathing. Take another breath here. And then as you exhale, again, slowly bring that right foot down. Round your upper spine. Arms come down, bending the knees. One more time. Lift your left knee in front of you, shifting the weight onto your right foot. Then we find warrior 3. So from having the left knee in front of you, inhale and exhale, start to slowly send that left leg behind you, tilting your upper body forward. Arms could be next to your sides. You could reach arms overhead if you want a bigger challenge. Now in that warrior 3, standing leg could be extended, it could be bent. Notice where you have your weight on that right foot. Is it on the heel? Is it on the toes? Is it in the center? Take another breath in and out. Finding your steadiness. And then as you inhale, you can bend the right knee, start to bring that left knee back in front of you. And we do the same to the other side. As you exhale, slowly bring that left foot down. Feel the foot grounding. Exhale, round your back, arms come down. And then as you inhale, lift the weight onto your left foot. Right knee comes in front of you. And from there, we're going to go into that warrior 3. So as you exhale, start to send your right foot behind you. So now we're looking for our balance on the left leg, left foot. And you can play with your ankle, your foot in that lifted leg. So is your right foot pointed? Are you flexing the foot? Maybe you're just flexing the toes. And breathe. Again, standing leg could be bent if that makes you steadier. So looking for where you feel steady. Take another breath in and out. Is the weight on your heel, on your toes? And then as you inhale, bend the left knee. Start to bring your right knee up in front of you, arms reaching up. And exhale, bring your right foot down, bring both arms down and just find your mountain pose. Take a couple of breaths in and out. And just notice how it feels to have your weight on 2 feet. Rock the weight towards the heels and lift your toes off the mat. Still keeping the balls of the feet on the mat. So it's just toes coming off the mat. And then as you exhale, spread and ground your toes back onto the mat. We're going to lift heels off the mat. So for this, you can now bring your arms in front of you. They could be extended or you can bend the arms. Next exhalation, lift your heels off the mat. So finding your balance now on the balls of the feet and those toes that you've spread on the mat. Keeping your spine long. Take another breath here, in and out. And then slowly with control, as you exhale, start to bring your heels down. Try to keep your back, your head still reaching up. And just slowly control the heels down. Release the arms. And again, shift the weight more onto the heels. Lift your toes off the mat. Still the balls of the feet on the mat. But trying to activate the toes and feeling that engagement coming all the way up to the fronts of the thighs. So the whole front side, front line engaging. Then again, spread your toes on the mat. Lower the toes down. We're going to lift the heels. Slow, controlled movement. Exhaling, lifting the heels of the mat. Arms come in front of you. You can also bend the elbows. And breathing here now. Keep connection between your inner ankles, inner heels. They're not touching, but they're kind of magnetized towards each other. So we don't let the outer ankles drop outside, but we keep driving them towards that inner line. And next exhalation, slowly, slowly again, control your heels down. Release the arms. Again, rock the weight a bit more to your heels. Lift the toes off the mat. We're going to do one more time, but this time you'll have a choice of bending your knees when we're up on the toes. So breathe in and out, toes still lifted off the mat. So really working into our feet, into our calves. And then spread your toes onto the mat, onto the floor. And as you exhale, lift your heels, lift your arms in front of you. So we're finding that balance, and you can stay here, or if you want, exhale, start to bend your knees, keeping heels off the mat. And you don't need to go deep, you don't need to go far down. It's just an extra challenge. Bending the knees, still reaching the back, reaching the head up, and still breathing. Maybe breathing more into the ribs. And then slowly, as you inhale, start to extend your knees, still keeping heels off the mat. And as you exhale, slowly bring your heels down. And then release the arms. You could move your ankles, move your feet a bit, maybe roll the shoulders. And then I'm going to turn on the mat so that I'm at the top of the mat and rest of the mat there behind me. And you can do the same. So now we need a bit more space behind us so we can step feet back. Still in that mountain pose. That's our base. Take another breath here, in and out. And then we're going to inhale, shift the weight onto the right foot, lift the left knee in front of us, lift the arms up like we did before. And we're going to step into warrior one. So leave your right foot where it is, and then step your left foot behind you, slightly rotating the hip, the foot open, so you can bring your whole foot and heel on the mat. And we're going to bend the right knee, bend the front knee. Find a place where the weight can be on 2 feet. You can open feet sideways, wider apart. Back knee extended, front knee bent. And just find your weight in the center, keeping that inner arch, inner ankle slightly lifted in that back leg. So we're not collapsing the knee down, we're lifting away from the mat. And then as you inhale, lift your arms up. Feet stay grounded where they are. And as you exhale, bring arms down, rounding your upper back. Head can nod down. Backs of the hands find each other in front of you. And same again, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, arms lifting up, arms spiraling up. Opening the chest. You might even look up. That will challenge your balance. As you exhale, bring arms down. Again, closing the chest, rounding your upper spine. Backs of the hands coming together or closer together. One more time. Inhaling up, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, arms come down, rounding the upper back. Keeping the legs steady, keeping the feet steady. Toes spread on the mat. Then as you inhale, lift your arms up, lift your back up. And this time, as you exhale, bring arms behind the back. And now see if you could interlock fingers behind the pelvis, behind the back. And then inhale, open the chest. We're going to go into the humble warrior. So legs still stay where they are. We're going to exhale, keep legs as they are. And now round the back, tilt forward from the pelvis. And either leaning on the inside of the right leg, or you might be leaning on top of that right leg. And arms could extend away from the back if that feels good in the shoulders. If it hurts in the shoulders, just keep hands on your lower back. But trying to keep hands off the mat, so we still need to work through the legs, through the feet. Right leg trying to push the floor away so we're not collapsing down, but there's that resistance through that right leg and right foot.
Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to stay down, but we start to release the arms. So bring hands onto your lower back, and then bring hands onto the mat, or maybe just fingertips. Now we're going to test lifting all the weight onto the right foot. So you can step hands further forward, and then inhale, lift your left leg up into the air behind you. Standing leg could be extended or standing leg could be bent, but trying to lift the left leg up. And you might be looking down, you might be looking towards your right foot if that feels steadier. And take another couple of breaths here. If it feels okay, you can try to extend your back, kind of away from the leg. But see what feels okay in that standing leg now. Take one more breath here, in and out, keeping that left leg lifted. And then as you exhale, slowly bend the right knee so you can bring your left foot back down, back into that warrior one. So again, shifting the weight onto that left foot. And inhale one more time, lifting the back and arms up, reaching arms overhead. Now exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest. And then we'll step back into our mountain pose. So step your left foot forward, find your mountain pose. And pause here for a few breaths, just letting your breath calm down. Let's take another breath in and out. And then, very surprisingly, we'll go into that warrior one, humble warrior, lifted splits on the other side. So when you're ready, release your hands and arms down, and then shift the weight onto your left foot, lifting your arms up, lifting the right knee in front of you. And we're going to step into warrior one. So slowly, with control, step your right foot far back, again slightly rotating the hip, finding the right foot, the heel, the ball of the foot, the toes on the mat. And again, you might need to adjust your feet wider apart. Maybe they're pelvis width apart, front knee bent, so you can still see your left foot, big toe, right leg extended, lifting that inner arch, inner ankle slightly. So we're not putting too much pressure on the inner knee. And then keep legs where they are. We're going to exhale, round the back. Bring the arms down, rounding the upper spine. Backs of the hands, again, finding each other. And then inhale, press down through the feet. Arms spiraling up. So you can rotate your shoulders, lift up through the chest, maybe even looking up. Exhaling, and arms come sideways down, rounding the upper spine, rotating the shoulders in. Head can come down. And inhaling, pressing down through the feet, arms lifting up. Keep the weight again on both feet in the center. One more time, exhaling down, rounding the upper spine, but not dumping all the weight on the front foot. Keep pressing down through that right foot, sending weight through the right heel. And inhale, lifting up, arms back, reaching up. Now keep your back upright, and as you exhale, bring arms behind the back, ready for that humble warrior. You can interlock fingers, bring hands together. Inhale, open the chest. Maybe there's a small back bend. And then keeping legs where they are. Exhaling, rounding the back down. And again, you might go over the left leg, or you could lean on the inside of that left leg. Arms can extend away from the back if that feels okay in the shoulders. Or you might leave hands onto your lower back. And this side might feel different. Again, check that you're not collapsing down, but you have that pressing down through the legs, especially through that left leg here, as you might feel there's more weight on that front leg and front foot. Neck can soften. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to stay down, but we're going to release the arms. So slowly bring hands onto your lower back. Bring fingertips on the mat. And we are planning to now lift the right leg. So you can walk the fingertips further forward. As you inhale, shift the weight onto your left foot. Maybe stepping the fingertips a bit further forward if that feels good. And lifting the right leg up behind you. You might keep the hips closed. You might also rotate the hips slightly open. See what feels manageable to you. And you might look down, or you might extend your back away from the leg. It's a bit more of a challenge for your upper body. And breathe. Keep your buttocks engaged. Keep your thighs engaged. Again, standing leg knee could be slightly bent as well. Notice where you have weight on that left foot. Take one more breath in and out. And then as you exhale with control, bend the left knee so you can step your right foot back into that warrior one, both feet down. And as you inhale, lifting up through the back, lifting up through the arms, opening the chest. And exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest. And then step back into your mountain. So step your right foot to your left foot. And again, take a couple of breaths here, in and out. And just letting the breath come down. You can bring arms down. If you want, you can move your feet. You can move your ankles. And then we have one more warrior, and we're also going to explore the balancing half moon. So at the top of the mat, take a couple of breaths in and out. And always when we go through these transitions, try to be extra mindful with your feet, how you're using your feet when you step back, when you step forward. And then we're going to step our left leg back. So as you inhale, lift your left knee up in front of you, lengthen up through the arms. We've done this now many times. And then as you exhale, reach your left leg far back so that you can now step into a warrior two. So now we're turning pelvis and chest a bit more out to the long side of the mat. And you can adjust your feet. You don't need to have your heels in one line. For some people, heels need to be again sideways, wider apart. For some people, it needs to be the back foot toes aligned with your heel. Where do you find that steadiness? And let's bring arms down just for a moment. So you can focus on your feet, your legs first, and finding your pelvis, again, kind of aligned in a way that we're not leaning to one side, but trying to find the hips to roughly same line, same level. And then let's bring the arms back up. So now as you inhale, open arms out to the sides. And from here, we're going to move. We're going to exhale, tilt down towards the right knee into an extended side angle. And then we're going to inhale, come back up and into reverse warrior. So left hand on the left leg and right arm reaching up, opening through the right side. And same again, inhaling up, keeping legs steady. Exhale, leaning towards the right thigh, lengthening the left arm closer to the head. And inhaling up. One more time. Exhaling, right arm reaching up, left hand on the left leg, opening the right side body. And then as you inhale, come back up to center and exhale, lean onto the right thigh. So right elbow on the right thigh, but this time left arm reaching up towards the ceiling. And now you have an option to stay here, or we could explore the half moon balance. So if you want to go further, exhale, start to bring your right hand closer to the mat. And then we're going to slowly again walk the right hand further forward so that we could now lift the left leg up into the air. But this time, we're going to try to keep the pelvis and chest more open to the long side of the mat. And you could look down to the mat. Okay, maybe it's the fingertips of that right hand on the mat. Or maybe it's the whole hand. See what feels steady for you. Again, standing leg, knee could be bent. Or you might extend the leg. Finding your steadiness. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly bend the right knee, stepping left foot back down on the mat. And inhale, lifting yourself up. And then close both feet, turning feet parallel. Release your hands, your arms down. You can bring hands on the hips. And then take a couple of breaths here, in and out. Just feeling the weight on 2 feet. And we'll go into a full forward bend. So, keeping legs wide apart, we're going to inhale, lengthen up through the back. Exhale, folding forward. So going into a full forward bend. If you want, you could bring fingertips, you could bring whole hand on the mat. See if you could release your head, your neck down as well. But if that doesn't feel good, you can stay kind of halfway up, so more in a flat back pose. See what feels safe in your legs, what feels safe in your back. We'll take a couple more breaths in and out wherever you are in your forward bend. It's a big opening for the whole back side, inner thighs, but still trying to keep both feet active. Keep lifting up through the fronts of the legs. So again, we're not collapsing down, we're equally lifting up through the legs as we are folding forward with the upper body and pelvis. And then, with your next couple of breaths, shift all the way onto your feet. You can bend the knees a bit. And as you inhale, lift up through the back, reaching up through the arms. And exhale, release the arms down. Then we're going to do the same to the other side. So we're going to just stay the same way we are. We're going to turn towards the left foot, preparing for that warrior 2, for the side angles, reverse warriors, maybe that balancing half moon. Take a moment to find your warrior 2 so that now the left leg is that bent leg, right leg extended. And again, weight at the center. You can bring hands or keep hands on the hips and just see where you can find your pelvis, kind of both hips roughly in the same level. So we're not just tilting towards the left hip, but trying to bring the pelvis to center, to level. And we don't need to go super low down. And once you've found that, we'll bring the arms into the picture. As you inhale, now lengthen arms out. Both feet grounded, pressing down. As you exhale, tilt down towards the left thigh, left elbow on the left thigh, and right arm reaching overhead. And then inhale, lifting up to center. And now reaching up through the left arm, right hand on the right leg, and tilting towards the right leg, still keeping weight on the left leg as well. Same again, inhaling up to center and exhaling towards that left leg and into that extended side angle. Here, you might tilt the pelvis, so there is some movement from the pelvis. And again, inhaling, lifting up. Keep the breath flowing, and next exhalation into that reverse warrior. Still weight on both feet, both legs. One more time, inhaling up to center. And then as you exhale, tilt down towards the left leg, but now keep the right arm reaching up. And you can stay here. Or if you want, you can reach your left hand down towards the mat, maybe fingertips on the mat. And you can stay there, or the last option is to shift the weight onto that left foot and lift the right leg up into that half moon balance. Long line from head to your right heel. And again, standing leg could be bent, it could be extended, and this side might be different. You can choose differently on this second side. Breathing in and out. Feeling or finding that steady feeling. What do you need to do to feel steady in this balancing pose? Or you might be in that extended side angle pose. Take another breath or two in and out. And it's very okay if the legs start to feel a bit shaky. And then slowly, with control, bring your right foot back down. As you inhale, lift yourself up, pressing down through the legs, and close your feet. And exhale, bring hands down, maybe hands on the hips. And you can roll the shoulders. You could do a couple of pelvic circles, just circling. Releasing the hips, going the other way as well. And take a couple of deeper breaths in and out. Good. Now from there, we are going to go into one more balancing pose on the feet. So you could heel toe your feet closer together. We're going to go into the tree pose. So find your feet maybe touching or just closer together so you can easily shift the weight from one foot to the other. Finding that inner line from inner thighs through the pelvic floor, through the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. Feet pressing down, head back, lifting up. So there's movement in two directions. And then let's stand on the right foot first. So from that quite close mountain, now we're going to shift the weight onto the right foot and then rotate the left hip open. You could leave your left foot close to the ankle, maybe the toe, the big toe is still on the mat. Or you could bring your foot somewhere below the knee, on the inner shin. Or you can even bring your left foot up onto the inner thigh in that right leg. Find your steady place, buttocks hugging towards each other. Bring palms together in front of the chest. And then find a focus point for your gaze. Palms lightly pressing against each other. Now you can either stay here, or if you want to move the arms, inhale, lengthen arms overhead. And then exhale, open the arms sideways down so they make a circle. And we can repeat this circle 2 more times if you want. Bring palms together. Inhale, lengthening up. And exhalation brings arms sideways down. And your tree doesn't need to be like a statue. So your tree might sway from side to side. Do 1 more circle. Inhaling, lengthening up through the arms. And exhaling, bringing the arms down. Bring palms together 1 more time. It's been a long balance. Inhale. And then exhale. Slowly release your feet down. Come back to that mountain. Maybe feet together. Release the arms. And just take a couple of breaths in and out. Just feel how the right foot, how the left foot feel. They've done some very different things in that tree pose. This one maybe feel heavier than the other. Maybe the right foot feels a bit more tired. Just notice what's going on in your feet and your legs. And then we're going to do same to the other side. So now bring all the weight onto your left foot. And then rotate your right hip open again. You could leave your foot down close to the ankle. Bring the foot somewhere below the knee and the inner shin. Or you can bring your foot all the way up onto the inner thigh. And you can make a different choice on the second side. We'll bring palms together, both buttocks active, inner thighs active in both legs. And again, you have that feeling of pressing down through the standing leg, lifting up through the spine, through the head. And you can stay here, keeping your palms together, or if you want, we can move the arms. If you want, you can inhale, lengthen arms up, overhead. And then exhale, open the arms sideways down. Follow your own breath. You could do 2 more circles. Palms together, inhale, lengthening arms up. And exhaling sideways down, keeping tops of the shoulders soft, keeping chest open, breath moving. 1 more circle if you want. Inhaling up, your left foot pressing down as you lengthen up. And exhaling, arms come sideways down. Bring palms together. Inhale there. And then exhale slowly. Release the right foot down. Find your mountain. And take a couple of breaths in and out. Just notice how your legs, your feet feel now. Take a breath in and out. Just notice how the feet, how your legs feel now. And then turn towards the top of the mat. And you could have your feet together. You could have your feet a bit wider apart. We're going to inhale, lengthen arms up. And then exhale, roll the spine down. Arms come slowly down and just rolling the spine down and forward into your full forward bend. Keep lifting up through the front of the legs. Take a couple of breaths here, in and out. And here as well, you might test if you rock the weight a bit more forward towards the toes, or if you rock the weight towards your heels. Is there
a different kind of sensation. And then from that forward bend, bring your palms on the mat and now walk your legs back into a downward facing dog. And for a few breaths, you can pedal your feet, so pressing one heel down, then pressing the other heel down. Maybe pressing both heels down, so stretching the calves a bit. Head can drop down. And then from this downward dog, we are going to go into a plank. And when we go into our plank, really focus on the legs. So we're trying to keep the front of the legs, the thighs, the front of the pelvis lifted off the mat. So really working through the legs in this plank. So first inhale, shift the weight forward. And you can either stay on your hands in this plank. We're going to do about 10 breaths in the plank. Or you can come down onto your elbows, either still keeping palms on the mat, or you can interlock your fingers, make a triangle shape with your forearms. And then we're going to start our 10 breaths. Counting for yourself. Inhale. And exhale. Keep lifting the thighs off the mat, the front of the pelvis off the mat, of course. Your elbows, arms pushing the mat away as well. We're maybe about halfway through now. Another 5 breaths in and out. Keeping feet active as well. You can even send some more weight towards the feet. So you're not dumping all the weight on your arms, but sending the weight towards the feet. 2 more breaths in and out. And then after those breaths, just slowly, slowly bring yourself down onto your belly. You bring your forehead on the mat or bring hands under the head. Bend the knees so you lift your feet up into the air and swing your shins, your feet, from side to side a few times. Windshield wipers, releasing the feet, trying to soften the front of the thighs. And then bring your legs back to center. Now lengthen your legs back down onto the mat. Legs don't need to be together. We're going to go into the full locust pose. You might have your legs together. I like to keep a gap between the legs, but still having that, again, sense of inner thighs, inner ankles, inner heels magnetized towards each other. Arms next to the sides. Reach head and feet away from each other. You can flex your toes a bit. And then as you inhale, press down through the front of the pelvis. Engage through the buttocks, then engage through the hamstrings, engage through the back, lifting your legs and your chest slightly off the mat. You could keep your palms on the mat, or you could start to hover your arms as well. Really trying to engage the whole back side. And like I said, you might flex your toes. That might help you get in touch with the feet here as well. You might look forward. You might also look down to the mat. It might help to keep that long line in the neck. And breathing in and out. Buttocks, hamstrings, lifting your legs off the mat. Feeling that connection from your scalp, from the neck all the way to your feet, through the whole back line. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly, slowly exhale, start to release down. And again, you could bring your head down on the mat, or you could bring your hands under the head. And now you could just rock the pelvis a bit from side to side. Send a few breaths towards the belly, towards the lower back. And then, in your own time, slowly bring yourself to lie down on your back. So you can keep your head where it is and just slowly roll down onto your back. Opening the chest and the belly up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to go into a happy baby pose as a counter pose for that locust. So now you can bring your knees towards the belly, towards the chest. Open the legs wider apart. And then reach hands either to your feet, ankles, or backs of your knees, backs of the thighs. And you can keep your feet close together, a bit like a butterfly shape. Or if you want to go for the full happy baby, start to lift the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And now if you are holding your feet, you might even give a little massage, some compression for your feet. So you might run your fingers along the soles of the feet and find some pressure points. We've done a lot of poses on the feet, so you might actually find some tight spots on the soles of the feet. Give them a bit of a massage. Give yourself a few more breaths in your happy baby, or if you are in that butterfly shape. Trying to soften the shoulders, trying to soften the neck. Let's take one more breath here, in and out. And then slowly start to release your feet, closing the hips, and then bring your feet onto the mat. Now we're going to go into a one-legged bridge. But first, just test where your feet need to be to go into a bridge pose. So just give yourself a couple of gentle lifts up into the bridge. If you then feel that you need to slide your feet further away from the pelvis, or if you need to bring your feet closer to the pelvis, you can do that. Just try once more, lifting the pelvis, the back up, and then lowering down. And then we're going to leave the right foot on the mat. You might need to walk the right foot a bit closer to the center line. Extend your left leg so that your knees are in the same level. So you're kind of kicking the left heel away from the left hip. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lift your pelvis, your back off the mat into your one-legged bridge. We're still trying to keep the thighs and knees roughly in the same level and trying to keep the hips in the same level. And breathe. Take another 2 or 3 breaths in and out here. And then with your next exhalation, slowly, slowly release your pelvis, your back down. Lower your left leg all the way onto the mat. And hug your right knee in towards the chest, towards the belly. And just give your right leg a couple of rocking movements from side to side. And then we're going to go into a full twist on this side. Left hand on the right knee or thigh. Inhale, exhale, cross your right leg all the way to the left side of the mat. Opening your chest, maybe opening the right arm out to the right side of the mat. The right knee might still be
off the mat. Right shoulder might come off the mat. Just a few breaths in a twist. We've done quite a lot of kind of back and forth movement. Not a lot of rotations today. So here, let yourself enjoy this twist. Head can turn to one side or the other. Give yourself one more breath in and out. And then slowly start to roll back onto your back. You can hug the right knee in. And then bring your both feet on the mat. And again, you could do maybe 1 or 2 lifts up into just a regular bridge, testing where your feet need to be, or especially where that left foot needs to be in a bit. Just a couple of times with your breath, lifting the pelvis up and then lowering back down. And then we're going to do that one-legged bridge on the other side. So now extend your right leg. Maybe walk the left foot a bit more to the center line. Knees, thighs roughly in the same level. Inhale, and as you exhale, press down through the left foot. Lift your pelvis, lift your back off the mat. Arms supporting. Trying to keep the hips about in the same level as well. Couple more breaths in and out again. The legs might get very shaky here. That's very fine. We're almost done with this strengthening. And then exhale, slowly release the pelvis, the back down. Bring right leg down on the mat. And then hug your left knee in towards the belly, towards the chest. Rock the leg a couple of times from side to side. And then we're going to twist to the other side from here. So now we could, with your right hand, inhale, exhale, guide your left leg out to the right side of the mat. And you could open your chest, open that left arm. So you might find a nice opening across the chest as well. And don't force a twist. Don't go any further than what feels safe, what feels good on this side. And this side could be completely different than the first side we did. Allow your breaths to slide down and up along the spine. Softening your jaw as well. Check that you're not biting teeth together. Take one more breath in and out in your twist. And then slowly start to roll back onto your back, releasing that twist. You could bend both knees to a couple of windshield wipers, just swinging from side to side. Releasing any tension there might be around the hips and the lower back. And then we're going to go for that supported bridge that I promised in the beginning. Now, if you don't have any props there, don't worry. You can choose a reclining butterfly without any bolsters, without any props. But if you have a block, a bolster, a pillow there, you could now reach for the prop and then lift your pelvis off the mat so you can lean your pelvis onto that prop. But if you don't have a prop there, that's absolutely fine. Just keep your back, keep your pelvis on the mat. Now I'm suggesting that we open legs into the butterfly shape. Whether you have your pelvis elevated or not, open legs into your butterfly shape. And if you want, you could bring arms overhead along the mat, along the floor. Or you could open arms out to the sides if that feels better. And we'll take 5 to 10 breaths here. So give yourself now some time in your butterfly, in your bridge. And if the butterfly legs start to feel unhelpful at any point, you can always relieve the butterfly legs. You might keep your feet on the mat, or you might extend your legs. So that is an option. Or maybe there's a different shape for your legs that helps you now. Let the poses serve you. Take a couple more breaths in and out, maybe a couple of slightly deeper, bigger breaths. You might even exhale through the mouth. Let out a sigh. And then if you have a prop under the pelvis, first find your feet on the mat. Then elevate your pelvis off the prop so you can slide, you can push or pull that prop aside. Bring your back, bring your pelvis on the mat. And then from a butterfly shape or just having knees bent, slowly lengthen your legs onto the mat, finding your Savasana pose. Give yourself a moment to find your shape in your Savasana pose. If lying down on the back doesn't feel good, you can also roll down onto your belly, or you could come lie down on one side. If you want, you can bring hands onto your belly. And just let yourself feel your breath in your hands. You might close your eyes. And invite your full awareness back to your breath. With each out breath, let your body become just a bit heavier. Let your feet become just a bit lighter. We're no longer standing, no longer balancing. Now let the mat, let the floor support your whole body. And let your feet soften. And let your legs soften. And let your hips soften. Give yourself a moment to rest here. Just observing the breath, allowing your mind to rest. And observing each breath in, each breath out. If you find your mind, your thoughts wandering off the mat, just bring your awareness back to that subtle, gentle flow. Those gentle waves of your breaths. Sliding in, sliding out. Allow yourself a moment to just be. We could spend another 5 to 10 breaths in our resting pose. If you notice you're still holding tension somewhere in your body, send a couple of breaths to those areas of your body and let the exhalation soft and melt away the tension. At the end of your 5 to 10 breaths, start to bring some gentle movement back to your fingers, your toes. Maybe move your hands, your feet. Make it circle the wrist joints, ankle joints. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Or lengthen arms overhead along the floor, stretching the whole body long from hands down to the feet. And then in your own time, start to find your way up into a seat. You might rock yourself up. You might roll onto one side to bring yourself up. Find an easy seat. What feels like an easy seat to you now? Where you could leave your hips, your back, your shoulders soft. Where you could give yourself a few more breaths in and out, closing your practice. And if it's a part of your practice, to bring your palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking this time to bring yourself onto your mat, into your body, your breath, into your practice today. And I thank you all very much for joining in, for sharing the time and sharing the practice. Namaste. Thank you.